The alien council floated silently in the shimmering halls of their massive space station. Lights flickered across polished metal floors, reflecting the endless stars outside. Thousands of alien leaders had gathered, each more imposing than the last. Their eyes glimmered with arrogance and their voices echoed through the chamber. "Humans?" one of them hissed, flipping through a holoscreen report. "They are weak. They are myths. They barely even have fleets." Laughter erupted across the council. Ships floated past the viewing windows, massive war machines bristling with weapons. These were fleets that had conquered star systems, wiped out planets, and bent entire civilizations to their will. And now they were amused at the thought of humans. "They build a few ships," another alien sneered, "and call themselves a fleet. Pathetic." Far below, on a small blue planet called Earth, the humans moved in quiet precision. No one laughed. No one mocked. Their fleets were tiny, almost invisible compared to the alien armadas. But each ship was tested, repaired, and prepared with care. Engineers worked tirelessly, checking every engine, every weapon, every shield. Commander Rin Hale walked along the deck of the lead ship, eyes sharp, hands steady. "We move at dawn," he said to his crew. "Precision and silence. No mistakes. We make them remember Earth." His words were calm, but they carried a weight that made every human on board straighten their shoulders. Unlike the aliens, humans did not rely on size or power. They relied on skill, strategy, and unity. Back in deep space, alien scouts reported movement near the edge of a destroyed star system. Tiny blips appeared on their scanners. "Strange signals," the scout said nervously. "Small ships, approaching." The council laughed again. "Ignore them," said the Grand Admiral. "It cannot be humans. They are myths. They cannot touch our fleets." But something unusual happened. A small human ship, much smaller than the scouts expected, emitted a strange pulse. The aliens paused. Machines on the alien ship flickered, lights dimmed, and sensors glitched for a heartbeat. "What is that?" the scout whispered. It is interfering with our systems." "Impossible," barked the Grand Admiral. "It is too small, too weak. Humans cannot do this." Meanwhile, the humans moved like shadows. The lead ship glided silently, weaving between asteroids and debris fields. Rin's crew watched the sensors, eyes alert. "Commander," said the navigator, "they are noticing us." Rin nodded. "Good. Let them look. Let them underestimate us. That is their weakness." The alien fleet, confident and massive, prepared to intercept. Ships bristled with weapons, energy shields fumed with power. The Grand Admiral leaned over the holoscreen, ready to crush the tiny humans before they could reach even a single planet. But the humans had a plan. The pulse from the small ship spread in a strange pattern, invisible to the naked eye but deadly to alien systems. For a few moments, alien sensors failed completely. Ships wobbled, thrusters misfired, and weapons locked up. "What is happening?" the Admiral shouted, slamming his claws on the control panel. "Some kind of interference," the scout stammered. "It is human?" Rin watched calmly from his ship. "We are not legends anymore," he said quietly. "We are real. And we are coming." Alien leaders panicked. Some shouted orders. Some froze in fear. For centuries, no species had dared to challenge them. And now humans, mythical humans, were moving through their fleet like ghosts. The strange pulse repeated in waves, each time shutting down alien sensors for seconds. The fleet staggered, confused and vulnerable. Rin looked at his crew. "This is only the beginning. Stay focused. Move fast. Remember, one mistake, and it is over." A low hum filled the space around the alien armada. Their ships flickered, lights dimmed. The Council's arrogance was slipping, replaced by fear. Something small, something underestimated, was turning their confidence into chaos. The unexpected war had begun. And it started not with a bang but with a quiet, invisible pulse, a whisper of human power that no alien could understand. The stars stretched ahead, dark and endless. The alien fleet was large, powerful, and deadly. But they had never fought humans. And humans fought differently. As Rin's fleet moved closer, the alien sensors failed again. Systems went dark, weapons locked, alarms screamed. A single message flashed across every alien console. "Earth remembers. Humanity is here." The Council froze. The unexpected war was no longer a rumor. It was real. And in that moment, one thing became clear. The galaxy had mocked humanity, and it would soon learn how wrong it had been. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, cold and silent. For the aliens, space had always been theirs. They ruled it with power, fleets, and fear. And yet, something small and quiet moved through it now. Human ships, precise, disciplined, and deadly in ways the aliens could not understand. Commander Rin Hale stood on the bridge of the lead ship, the Starhawk, staring at the alien fleet far ahead. The ships were enormous, tens of times larger than any human craft, but arrogance had always been their weakness. Humans did not fight with size or sheer firepower. They fought with strategy, cunning, and coordination. "Status report," Rin said calmly. His voice carried authority without urgency. "Sensors show the alien armada is moving to intercept," said Lieutenant Mara, eyes flicking across multiple screens. "They are confident, they don't think we can touch them." "Good," Rin said, a small smile tugging at his lips. "Let them be confident. Let them think we are weak. Their arrogance will be their downfall." In the alien command centers the mood was very different. The Grand Admiral roared with laughter, pacing across the bridge of the flagship Oblivion's might. "Pathetic humans," he barked. "A few small ships thinking they can challenge us. Destroy them before they even reach the first planet." But even as he shouted, the mysterious pulses from the human ships continued. Alien weapons misfired, shields wavered, and communications crackled. Technicians scrambled to identify the source. "It is happening again," one officer whispered. "Our systems, they are failing. Every time a human ship sends the pulse, our weapons lock up." The Grand Admiral slammed a claw onto a console. "Impossible. It is too small, too insignificant. How can such tiny ships cause this?" Meanwhile, Rin gave the order. Phase 1. Disrupt their formation. Deploy stealth drones and pulses to confuse their sensors. On the Starhawk, tiny drones shot out like swarms of fireflies, invisible to alien sensors until it was too late. Alien ships tried to react, but the pulses interfered with their targeting systems. Lasers misfired, shields flared unexpectedly, and some ships collided with debris floating in the sector. The human fleet moved with ghost-like precision. Every ship knew its position, every maneuver was coordinated. No words were wasted, no errors allowed. From a distance the aliens could see nothing unusual. Humans were still tiny dots against the massive armada. And yet chaos spread through their ranks. The Grand Admiral growled. "Target their command ship. Fire everything." Energy beams erupted across space. The blast should have obliterated the human lead ship. But it did not. The Starhawk darted between shots, faster than any alien machine could track. Some of the beams collided with each other in space, exploding before reaching the ship. Rin watched calmly. Phase 2, strike their outpost. Small, precise, surgical. We only hit what we need. The human ships split into small groups, moving like shadows around an abandoned alien outpost. This outpost had been used to control communication across the sector, a vital point in the alien network. A human drone breached the shield silently and sent a pulse that shut down the entire facility for minutes. Alien officers screamed as communications died, alarms flashed and weapons went offline. "They are everywhere," one alien officer said in panic. "Impossible. We cannot find them all." Rin smiled faintly. "Good. Let them panic. Confusion is our weapon now." For humans there was no time for arrogance. Each action was calculated, each strike precise. Civilian ships were protected, rescue drones moved among alien debris to capture intelligence, and every movement taught humans more about their enemy. In the Alien Council, leaders argued loudly. "This is impossible. No species has ever done this." A young alien admiral cried out. "It is strategy. Coordination. They are everywhere at once." The Grand Admiral slammed his claws onto the hollow screen. "Enough. Destroy them. They are tiny, they cannot touch us." But as he barked, another pulse surged from the human fleet. This one was larger, synchronized across every ship. Alien weapons failed completely. Systems flickered. Engines misfired. Ships floated helplessly in space. The Council froze in disbelief. Rin ordered the next move. Phase 3, vanish. They cannot fight what they cannot see. Retreat in formation, but leave the outpost crippled. The human ships disappeared into asteroid fields, warping their engines just enough to hide from alien scanners. When the aliens tried to chase, they found nothing. Confusion turned into fear. Fear turned into chaos. And then a single message appeared on every alien console. "We are not myths. We are coming." No one knew which human ship sent it. The message seemed to come from everywhere at once. For the first time, the aliens realized that humans were not weak. Humans were not myths. Humans were intelligent, disciplined, and dangerous in ways they could not imagine. Rin looked at his crew. "Remember this day," he said quietly. "This is the first strike. The galaxy thinks it can laugh at us. It is wrong. And they will learn the cost of underestimating Earth." The alien fleet gathered, trying to regroup. But humans had already vanished, leaving only the echo of their power. Plans that had taken decades to form were disrupted in hours. The unexpected war had begun and humans had struck first. Stars stretched endlessly ahead. Silence returned for a moment. But the galaxy was not calm. Fear spread faster than light across alien fleets. They had mocked humans for centuries and now they were learning the truth. Legends could strike. And Earth was no longer a legend. The stars shone cold and distant, but in the sector near the ruins of the planet Dravos, something unusual moved. Small blips appeared on alien scanners, tiny against the endless dark of space. And yet, these blips were not ordinary, they were humans. Commander Rin Hale stood on the bridge of the Starhawk, eyes sharp, hands steady. Around him, the human fleet prepared silently. They were small in number compared to the alien armada, but their formations were perfect. Every ship knew its position, every maneuver rehearsed and precise. Humans had learned patience. They had learned strategy. They had learned how to fight a war bigger than anyone expected. "Commander," said Lieutenant Mara, her voice tense but controlled, "alien forces are detecting us now. They think they have us surrounded." Rin smiled faintly. "Good. Let them think they are in control. That is when we strike hardest." The alien fleet was enormous. Thousands of ships bristled with weapons, shields flaring with energy. Grand Admiral Kthar watched from his flagship, Oblivion's Might, his eyes narrowing at the tiny human blips. "They are insignificant," Kthar growled. "Destroy them. Make them a lesson the galaxy will remember." But the humans did not fight like any enemy the aliens had seen before. The first wave of ships split and darted between asteroids, weaving unpredictably. Sensors flickered as pulses from human vessels interfered with targeting systems. Alien weapons misfired repeatedly, some striking each other in fiery collisions. "What is happening?" an alien officer shouted. "Our systems, they fail every time they move." Rin watched calmly. Phase 1, disorient. Let them fight shadows. The Starhawk emitted a low-frequency pulse that spread across the fleet, invisible to alien eyes but deadly to their machines. Shields flickered, engines misfired and weapons froze mid-fire. Confusion spread through the armada like wildfire. "Commander, their flagship is preparing to fire," Mara said. "Let them," Rin replied quietly. "Let them waste their strength. Patience is our weapon." Suddenly the humans struck. Small fighter groups darted toward the alien forward ships, striking weak points with surgical precision. Energy beams lanced through shield gaps. Engines exploded. Alien ships spun helplessly in space. And before the larger vessels could respond, the human ships vanished again, leaving only destruction behind. On Oblivion's Might, Kthar slammed his claw onto the console. "Impossible. How can such tiny ships cause this much damage?" "They are not just ships," an officer said, voice trembling. "It is strategy, intelligence, coordination. They are everywhere at once." But humans were not done. A larger pulse, synchronized across every ship in Rin's fleet, spread like a wave. Alien communications went silent. Weapons shut down. Even the Grand Admiral's flagship shuddered as systems failed momentarily. Rin ordered the next phase. Phase 2, encircle. Show them the size of Earth's fleet they cannot see. From the shadows of asteroid fields, larger human vessels emerged. They had been hidden all along, cloaked or disguised, invisible to alien scanners. Now they formed a perfect ring around the alien forward line, cutting off escape routes. "What?" Kthar yelled. "Where did they come from?" "They were hiding," an officer admitted. They must have split their fleet across multiple sectors." Rin's voice was calm but firm. "Humans are disciplined. Every ship knows its role. Every move is calculated. They cannot predict us and they cannot stop us." The alien fleet tried to regroup, but confusion reigned. Ships collided, shields flared uncontrollably, and some vessels fired at each other in panic. Kthar realized his enemies were not only attacking, they were manipulating the battlefield. Every pulse, every maneuver, every disappearance had been planned. "Commander," Mara said, pointing to the sensors, "their armada is breaking formation. They are panicking." "Good," Rin replied. "Now we begin Phase 3. Phase 3 was simple but deadly. Human ships moved with ghost-like speed, striking isolated alien vessels one by one. They disabled engines, jammed weapons, and left ships drifting uselessly. Even without destroying them completely, humans had gained control. Fear spread through the alien ranks. The myth of human weakness was dying fast. In the alien command halls, leaders screamed, "This cannot be. How can they move so fast? How can they be everywhere?" Kthar's claws shook with rage. "We have ruled the stars for centuries. No species has ever challenged us. Yet these humans, they are ghosts. They are shadows. They are everywhere." Meanwhile, Rin's fleet moved silently, retreating just enough to confuse the aliens further. They vanished behind asteroid belts, leaving the armada stunned, scattered, and vulnerable. A single message flashed across alien consoles, appearing simultaneously on every ship. "Humans are not myths. We are real. And we have only begun." The aliens froze. Their arrogance, their confidence, their centuries of conquest, it all collapsed under the truth of human strategy. These small ships, so easily dismissed, had shown intelligence and patience the galaxy had never seen. Rin watched as the alien fleet tried to recover. "Remember this moment?" he said to his crew. "They mocked us. They laughed at us. But legends are not built by size or power. They are built by courage, skill, and unity." The humans disappeared once more, shadows in the endless dark of space. And in the alien ranks, fear spread like fire. The unexpected war was no longer just an idea. It was real. Humans had struck first, and now the galaxy knew the truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not myths. Humans were shadows in the skies, and they were only beginning. The cold, dark expanse of space stretched endlessly. For the aliens, it was a place of dominance, of power. They ruled hundreds of systems, built fleets that could crush planets, and had never known fear. Until now. Humans had appeared quietly, almost like whispers in the dark, and yet their presence had already shaken the mightiest armadas in the galaxy. Commander Rin Hale watched from the bridge of the Starhawk, calm as ever, his eyes scanning the endless stars ahead. "Commander," Lieutenant Mara said, pointing to the holographic map, "we have detected several occupied alien colonies nearby. They are weakly defended but heavily monitored." Rin nodded. "Good. Phase 1. Strike without leaving evidence. Disable their command systems and rescue any civilians we can. Show them that we fight differently, they cannot predict us." While alien fleets scrambled to locate the humans, the small Earth armada moved silently toward its first target, a minor supply planet previously thought abandoned. Human stealth technology had improved over decades. Their ships were virtually invisible to the naked eye and undetectable by conventional sensors. On the planet below, frightened alien civilians huddled in ruined cities. They had no weapons, no defenses, and no hope. But they did not know that humans were coming, not to destroy but to save. A human shuttle landed silently, dust swirling around its landing legs. Rin and a small strike team emerged, moving swiftly and quietly. They distributed food, medicine, and water, comforting the terrified aliens. The civilians stared in disbelief. You are human?" one of them whispered, voice shaking. Rin smiled faintly. "Yes. And we fight, yes. But we also protect. We help. Remember that." Even as humans rescued the civilians, pulses from their ships continued to interfere with alien fleet systems. Alien weapons misfired again. Some ships accidentally fired on each other. Panic spread through the alien ranks. Back in space, Grand Admiral Kthar slammed his claws onto the console in frustration. "How can this be?" he shouted. "We have numbers, weapons, fleets. And yet, they strike and vanish. They take prisoners, disable our supply lines, and leave no trace. They are organized," an officer whispered. "We cannot track them. Every move they make is precise. It is human intelligence." Rin's fleet moved with ghost-like efficiency. While a group of ships executed a daring strike against an alien outpost, another group rescued survivors from destroyed colonies. Even the aliens who had once laughed at humanity were now in shock. They had never fought a species that combined strategy, compassion, and discipline. "Commander," Mara said, "alien fleet is trying to regroup near the Star Gate. They are concentrating all their power." Rin's eyes narrowed. "Phase 2, confusion. They think they can gather strength. Let's show them that Earth does not fight like the rest of the galaxy." A low hum spread across the human fleet. Sensors on alien ships began flickering violently. Engines misfired. Shields surged and dropped without warning. Entire squadrons were paralyzed for crucial seconds. The humans had learned to use their small numbers to maximum advantage. A fleet of thousands could not move efficiently in the chaos humans created. On the bridge of the Oblivion's might, Ktharis' claws shook. They are not just small ships. They are controlling our fleet. Oh, impossible. Meanwhile, a new and massive human battleship emerged from the shadows. Larger than any the aliens had counted, it had been hidden the entire time, cloaked in an advanced stealth field. Its design was elegant, deadly, and unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Rin watched the alien fleet from the bridge of the Starhawk. Phase 3, reveal our hidden strength. They must understand what Earth can build, what humans can do when pushed to the edge. The massive ship released a low-frequency pulse that jammed all enemy communications. Alien captains were unable to coordinate. Orders were misheard. Weapons fired at random. Some ships even drifted into asteroid fields accidentally. Kthar slammed his claw onto the console. We are being beaten by ghosts and shadows. Not ghosts, Kthar, Rin said quietly, his voice calm over the comms that the aliens could not intercept. Humans, we are real. And we fight differently. We protect the weak, we strike precisely, and we never give up. The human fleet surrounded the alien armada, their formation perfect, their movements unpredictable. Alien leaders were paralyzed with fear. For the first time in centuries, a species they had dismissed as weak had seized control of the battlefield. Commander, Mara said, voice tight with tension, they are attempting to retreat. They are scared and confused. Rin's eyes were steady. Good. Let them retreat. Let them fear the shadows. Let them know humanity does not strike for glory. We strike for survival, for justice, and for those who cannot fight for themselves. The rescued civilians were transported safely back to human-controlled zones. The aliens who had been laughing at Earth now whispered stories of the humans they had never imagined, stories of patience, strategy, and power disguised as kindness. And then a single message appeared on every alien console. Earth fights not only for itself. We fight for the weak. And we are just getting started. The alien fleet recoiled. Their confidence was gone. Their arrogance shattered. Humans had not only disrupted their systems but had also challenged their understanding of war itself. They could not predict humans because humans did not fight like anyone else in the galaxy. Rin stood on the Starhawk bridge, staring into the dark expanse of stars. Phase 4 will come soon, he said quietly. We have shown them that Earth is not weak. But now we must prepare for the inevitable. They will retaliate. They always do. And when they do, we will be ready. The hidden human battleship drifted silently in the shadows, ready to strike again. For the aliens, the lesson was clear. Size, numbers, and fear could no longer dominate the galaxy. Humans had shown a power they could not comprehend, a discipline and intelligence that made the impossible seem easy. The unexpected war was far from over. But one truth echoed across the galaxy. Humans were not myths. Humans were real. Humans had hidden power. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The alien fleet had never known fear. For centuries they had ruled the galaxy, their power absolute. Ships filled the void, weapons primed, fleets that could crush entire planets without effort. And yet, now they faced humans, small, underestimated, and seemingly fragile, but terrifyingly precise. Commander Rin Hale stood on the bridge of the Starhawk, eyes calm and calculating. Around him, the human fleet moved like a single organism, ships weaving through space with perfect coordination. Every maneuver was planned, every pulse calculated. Humans did not rely on numbers or firepower, they relied on intelligence, strategy, and unity. Commander, Lieutenant Mara said, her voice tense yet composed, the alien fleets are trying to regroup. They are concentrating near the Star Gate. They want to trap us. Rin nodded. Let them try. They believe numbers and size can overwhelm us. They do not understand humans. In the alien flagship, Oblivion's might, Grand Admiral Kthar paced the command bridge. Sweat, unusual for his kind, glistened on his brow. His massive claws slammed onto the control console. They are everywhere, he hissed. Our fleets cannot hold them back. How is this possible? They are not just small ships, an officer whispered, voice trembling. They move like one being, coordinated, intelligent, unpredictable. Rin gave the order. Phase 1, divide and conquer. Use their arrogance against them. Small groups of human ships split off, moving in unpredictable paths around the alien armada. Pulses from the human fleet interfered with alien targeting systems again. Weapons misfired, shields surged and dropped, engines misfired. Chaos spread like wildfire through the alien lines. Alien captains shouted orders, but none could be heard across the fleet. Miscommunication turned into panic. Some ships fired on one another by mistake. Others drifted helplessly through space. The aliens realized too late that humans did not fight like any enemy they had faced before. "Commander," Mara called. "They are attempting to flee. Their confidence is gone." "Good," Rin said calmly. "Let them retreat. Let them think they can escape. That is when we strike hardest." Human ships pressed their advantage. Using stealth technology, they appeared at multiple points at once. Alien fleets could not track them, could not predict them. One moment, humans were attacking the vanguard. The next, they were striking supply stations, disabling communication nodes, and cutting off reinforcements. The Grand Admiral roared in frustration. "Impossible. We have numbers, weapons, technology. And yet, we are losing control." Rin's hidden battleship, larger and deadlier than any alien ship, emerged from the shadows. Its design was sleek, deadly, and unexpected. From this ship, a low-frequency pulse spread across the alien fleet, shutting down entire squadrons for crucial seconds. "Prepare for Phase 2, Rin said to his fleet. "Show them Earth does not fight like the rest of the galaxy. Show them our true power." Phase 2 began immediately. Human ships moved with speed, precision, and patience. Alien vessels found themselves surrounded, outmaneuvered, and trapped. Attempts to regroup failed. Fear spread through the alien ranks like fire. Their arrogance was gone. Their confidence shattered. One alien captain shouted over the comms, voice trembling, "We cannot fight them. They are not myths, they are shadows, ghosts, everywhere." "Not ghosts," Rin said quietly, his voice calm. "Humans. Real, disciplined, unstoppable when united. And we never give up." The human fleet pressed the advantage, capturing stranded alien ships without destroying them. Intelligence was gathered, weaknesses were studied, and every move was documented. Humans were teaching the aliens a new kind of warfare, one that combined compassion, strategy, and precision. The alien fleets tried to escape through the Stargate, but the humans anticipated it. Using advanced calculations and foresight, Rin positioned his ships to block the exit. The aliens had nowhere to run. Ktharis' claws shook in anger. "We are trapped by humans. How can a small species control the galaxy's strongest fleets?" "They underestimate humans," Mara said, voice tight with tension. "They think numbers win wars. They don't understand discipline, planning, and unity." Rin looked across the bridge at his crew, calm but alert. "Phase 3, let them feel our patience. We do not need to destroy them entirely. We need them to understand humans are not to be underestimated. Fear is a powerful teacher." The alien fleet's morale collapsed. Some ships surrendered immediately, others drifted helplessly. The once mighty armada was broken, not by firepower alone, but by human strategy, precision, and patience. In a bold move, Rin sent a single message to the alien fleet. "You mocked us. You laughed at Earth. But legends are built not on arrogance, but on courage, skill, and unity. Humanity has arrived. Remember that." Across the galaxy, the echoes of this battle spread. Alien species whispered of humans who could move fleets like shadows, who could strike without being seen, and who protected the weak while dominating the strong. Rin watched the alien fleet retreat, scattered and broken. Stars stretched endlessly ahead, and for the first time in centuries, the galaxy feared humans. "Prepare for Phase 4, Rin said quietly. "They will retaliate. They always do. But when they strike, we will be ready. The turning point has arrived. From now on, the galaxy will never underestimate Earth again." The human fleet disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind fear, confusion, and shattered arrogance. The unexpected war was far from over, but humanity had shown the galaxy the cost of underestimation. They had turned the tide, proving that intelligence, courage, and unity could overcome even the most powerful foes. And for the first time in centuries, the aliens realized that humans were not myths. Humans were legends in the making. The void of space stretched endlessly, silent and cold. But in that silence, a new force moved with precision, unity, and purpose. The human fleet, once dismissed as myths, now dominated the sector. Every ship moved like a single mind, shadows weaving between stars. The galaxy had mocked Earth for centuries, laughed at its tiny, weak humans. Now those same humans were the nightmare of an empire. Commander Rin Hale stood on the bridge of the Starhawk, eyes steady, voice calm. Around him, the fleet was in perfect formation. Human ships had multiplied since their first strike, using hidden stations and stealth jumps to appear where the aliens least expected. The time for small strikes was over. It was time to finish what they had begun. "Commander," Lieutenant Mara said, tension in her voice, "the alien flagship. Oblivion's might is directly ahead. They've gathered every remaining vessel to protect it. They're trying to make a last stand." Rin's expression remained unreadable. "Let them gather. Confidence makes them predictable. Phase 1, surround. We cut off every escape route. No ship leaves this system alive without our permission." Across the stars, alien fleets scrambled. Hundreds of ships formed a protective wall around the flagship. Energy shields flared, weapons powered up, and the Grand Admiral's claws slammed repeatedly on the console. "They will not take us," Kthar growled. "We are the strongest in the galaxy. Humans cannot touch us." A pulse rippled through the alien fleet, a human pulse, low and almost silent but devastating. Alien sensors failed again. Shields flickered. Weapons misfired. Ships collided, caught in their own confusion. Panic spread like wildfire. Rin watched calmly. Phase 2, disorient. Let them fear shadows. Let them feel the human mind at work. The hidden human battleship, the largest and most advanced vessel ever built, moved from its cloaked position. Its design was sleek, terrifying, and unmatched. From its hull, a powerful pulse surged, shutting down alien communications across the fleet. The Grand Admiral's orders went unheard. Confusion reigned. "Commander," Mara said, her voice tight. "They are trying to escape. Their fleet is scattering." "Good," Rin said. "Let them scatter. Let them learn fear. Let them see the cost of underestimating humanity." The human ships moved with deadly coordination. Smaller attack squads darted in, striking isolated alien vessels with surgical precision. Engines exploded, weapons flared, and shields collapsed. The humans did not destroy recklessly. They disabled and captured when possible, showing control and restraint even in the chaos of war. Kthar's claws shook. "Impossible. How can such small creatures control the battle? How?" "They are humans," one officer whispered, trembling. "They think differently. They fight differently. They understand war in ways we cannot." Rin's fleet pressed the advantage. Hidden ships appeared behind alien lines, cutting off escape routes. Pulses jammed engines. Fighters struck from impossible angles. The once mighty armada was now scattered and panicked. "Phase 3, the flagship," Rin said quietly. "It is time for them to see what humanity truly is." The Starhawk and the hidden battleship moved together toward the Oblivion's might. Alien shields flared in anticipation, weapons charged. The Grand Admiral roared orders, but the humans anticipated every move. Pulses, drones, and stealth fighters disabled the alien defenses, leaving the flagship vulnerable. Rin gave the final order. "Fire everything. Precision only. No mistakes." Energy beams from human ships struck in perfect coordination. Shields failed. Weapons overloaded. The flagship trembled under the relentless assault. Alien officers scrambled, but it was too late. The human fleet moved with uncanny precision, striking weak points they had studied for weeks. "Commander," Mara shouted. "They are trying to surrender." Rin shook his head. "Let them understand. This is not destruction for glory. This is to teach the galaxy a lesson. Let them see the cost of underestimation." The alien flagship shuddered violently. Systems exploded one by one. Engines failed. The Grand Admiral's massive claws clawed at the console as he realized the inevitable. In the final moments, the human battleship fired a synchronized pulse directly into the core of the Oblivion's might. The flagship erupted in a controlled explosion, its hull tearing apart in a brilliant flash of light. Alien fleets, now leaderless, scattered into the void, broken and defeated. Silence fell over the battlefield. Stars reflected the ruins of the alien armada. Humans floated in formation, steady, victorious, and unbroken. Rin looked at his crew. "Remember this," he said, voice calm and firm. "The galaxy mocked us. They laughed at Earth. They thought humans were weak, small myths. But now, they will never forget. Humanity is real. Humanity is unstoppable when united." A single message was sent across the galaxy, broadcasting to every system, every fleet, every species. "You mocked us. You laughed at Earth. You called us myths. Humanity has arrived. And we fight not for conquest, but for justice, for those who cannot defend themselves. Never underestimate humans again." Across distant stars, the message spread. Civilizations whispered of Earth's fleet, the strategy, the patience, the precision. They spoke of humans who moved like shadows, struck with skill, and protected the weak while dominating the strong. Humans were no longer myths. Humans were legends. Rin stood on the bridge of the Starhawk, looking toward the endless dark. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Intelligence, discipline, and unity could defeat even the strongest fleets. Size, arrogance, and fear could no longer dominate. The hidden battleship drifted silently, ready for the next mission. The human fleet was unstoppable, disciplined, and united. And for the first time in history, the galaxy understood that humanity would not be ignored, dismissed, or mocked again. Stars stretched endlessly, quiet and eternal. The unexpected war had ended, but the legend of Earth and its people had just begun. Humans had shown the galaxy that courage, skill, and unity were the greatest weapons of all. And somewhere, in the dark expanse of space, civilizations that had once laughed at Earth whispered in fear. Humans are not myths. Humans are unstoppable.